Hey, what's up, everybody? Dr. Ryan Weaver here again with today's workshop. Today, what we're going to be talking about, I'm going to share it with you in just a moment, but do me a favor, before we go ahead and get started in this workshop, like us on Facebook, on YouTube, and set up for notifications so anytime we do these workshops or do any other posts, you can get notified of those. Also, don't hesitate to turn back in time, look at some of our previous workshops. We're continuously editing these and making new ones all the time. Today we're actually going to do a first with a whiteboard moment behind this workshop. So today's workshop, this may be for you and maybe not now, but maybe sometime in the future. And if it's not for you right now, maybe somebody you know, and these are definitely things you probably heard of. Today we're going to be talking about arthritis. Now there are many different types of this. I could really break this into a few different talks because there's so much information. So I'm really going to just go into kind of the summary and beginning portions of this, things that you may know, may not know, and what we need to know in order to educate ourselves about this, arthritis in general. You hear different ones such as osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, psoriatic arthritis, and all of that. But again, as my job, the number one thing I can do for you is to help educate you. And if you have it, if you understand the signs and symptoms of it, know which kind you have, know what to do about it, and if you don't have it, how to keep it away. So, fun facts about arthritis. When you break down the word arth meaning joint and itis, swelling, that's where we come from of it's joint swelling. So, arthritis causes more loss from work, more pain, and more dysfunction and alterations in activities of daily living than any other human illness. So the numbers for this are astronomical. Now I'm going to read an excerpt here that I found. An estimated 1 in 4 U.S. adults, 54.4 million people, report a diagnosis of arthritis. 1, which is a leading cause of disability. 2, and a meaningful driver of economic cost. 3, data from 2013 demonstrates that 303.5 billion can be attributed to arthritis each year through medical expenditures and earnings lost, equaling 1% of the U.S. GDP. Among people with arthritis, about 44% report arthritis decreases their activity and causes limitations. So, while this really affects all ages, all backgrounds, some people are more apt to have the symptoms in this disease. A disproportionate amount affect women and older adults who have a lower level of education, are not physically active, I'm going to get to that in just a moment, or have obesity or other comorbidities. I'm also going to get to that. The highest reported prevalence are those categories. So, the majority of these characteristics are modifiable, meaning that something we can do about. And that is where I'm going to get to this back here, whiteboard behind me in a moment. So, things that I mentioned in there, comorbidities, not physically active, okay? So I want to also reference another, a medical doctor here, the role of immobilization of vitamin. So stick with me. I'm going to kind of bounce around here, but I'll try to keep this organized. So traumas and stressors that trigger arthritis. Weidman concludes that immobilization, for whatever reason, is one of the factors in musculoskeletal degeneration. His research shows beyond reasonable doubt that immobilization is not only a cause of osteoarthritis, but that it delays the healing process. He states that osteoarthritic changes and loss of joint mobility can be produced either by a single period of immobilization, so a few weeks, or repeated short periods, so several days. So the diagram back here. So I want you to think of you being in the center of this. Okay? Stresses, fall, poor posture, weight gain. Okay? So stress, I'm going to abbreviate a lot of these. poor posture, and weight gain. Okay? You're going to see how this vicious circle happens. This creates damage and weakness to the joint. All right, muscle weakness specifically. This creates an immune reaction from there, swelling and ligament damage. Well, anytime that you have swelling and ligament damage, what do we have? We have pain, right? So the last one, this then limits, and I hear this often in practice, limits and decreases function. Okay? So let's go through this. We have stress on our body, we have poor posture, we have weight gain. That will then lead to a damage to the joint or weakness in the muscle. That then causes an immune reaction in our body, which translates to swelling and ligament damage, gives us pain. When we're in pain, we don't function, move, we have limitations, and this just continuously goes around. So this is the basic premise of arthritis. So the first stressor, and this is going to sound a lot like a human biology and anatomy class here, but the first stress to the chondrocyte, which is the precursor of a cartilage cell, is what we have a subluxation, meaning something's not moving the way that it should, or it's misaligned. If this is allowed to stay, then we have an alter in biomechanics, basically the way that we're moving and functioning. We're not moving and functioning properly. Another term that you may hear with us a lot, compensation, right? If you think of that you've injured your knee or an ankle and you may compensate the way that you're walking. There's a subluxation somewhere. So one of the things I hear again often in practice is, well, it's wear and tear. Well, again, from a reference here, we used to believe that degeneration occurred as a result of wear and tear. However, that is not true. The joint lubrication is so smooth that wear of articular tissues cannot occur. The coefficient of friction is so low. Whales and dolphins and seals all can suffer with osteoarthritis. This proves that wear and tear theory cannot be the cause, as they are all supported by water. It's the subluxation that triggers the arthritis. Now again, we can go even more in depth with calcium and buildup and the irritation and inflammatory processes that happen in altered biomechanics. We call that subluxation. So again, this is just one of the topics of why we have arthritis. Now again, we have osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis. I mean, we can go on with this list. But I wanted to start this conversation because this is going to be a multi-weekly topic, arthritis, because all too often when patients come into my office, they say, yes, my doctor said I had arthritis, take some Tylenol, and that was kind of it. So we have to first start off with the understanding of what it is, why we have it, and what we can do to change that. As mentioned in here, some of the biggest things, not physically active and obesity. People with arthritis have to work out or exercise, and I don't necessarily mean just weight training or going on a marathon, is moving. We have become such a complacent, lazy society that we just have to start moving, okay? And we also need to address the subluxation, the altered biomechanics. So, transferring into our next workshop, we're going to cover a lot more of these numbers, a lot more of things that you can do depending on age, depending on what kind of arthritis that you have, and we'll continue to progress through this. So again, recapping from today, this is one of the number one causes of limitations and human illness and loss of work within our country. You are here in the center. Again, if we have stress, poor posture, weight gain, that can then relate or lead to damage in the muscle, damage in the joint and the weakness, causing immune reaction as we spoke about, swelling and ligament damage. So again, there we have that arthritis, which causes pain, which makes us not want to move when we're in pain, and we continue to spiral down. So one thing that I do want to close on, and I brought up kind of age there for a moment. There was a study that showed regular exercise and training can slow the degeneration of bone density, muscular development, and balance in older adults. 3 physical functions that decline with age. Think about it. Maybe your grandparents, maybe your parents. They typically, those 3 things decline: bone density, muscular development, and balance. Although aging inevitably has a negative effect on sport performance, one study in 2008 of competitors in the Senior Olympics, defining that age 50 to 85, one thing I did not know that began at age 50 for Senior Olympics, from the American Journal of Sports Medicine, found that major declines in performance time doesn't occur until after age 75. So, 50, 60, up to 75. I personally believe we sometimes use that as an excuse, or sometimes say, well, that's normal. This is kind of when we really kind of fall off. Right there it says not until 75. The American Journal of Sports Medicine. So I hope this gave you some hope. I hope you turn into our next call. Again, go ahead and like us, follow us on Facebook and YouTube, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys here very soon at our next workshop. Thanks. Hey everybody, hope you enjoyed that spinal workshop. Don't forget to like the video and feel free to share it if you learned something. Be sure to subscribe to our channel so you have quick access to our videos, and also don't forget to hit that notification bell so you are alerted every time that we post a video. You can also check out other spinal workshops by clicking right over here. Until next time, make sure you live your best life, and we'll look forward to seeing you at that workshop.